And in Nevada today, the Campus Protection Act got its first vote. This was a big vote. Carrie Herbertson, NRA ILA's Nevada State Liaison, is with us. And Carrie, good evening.
Hi, Cam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a good day for gun owners in Nevada, so it's always nice to be able to talk to you about that.
All right. So that sounds like Senate Bill 231 did pass out of the State Senate Government Affairs Committee.
That's correct, on a 4-1 vote, and it was to be expected, to be honest with you, since four of the senators that sit on that committee are co-sponsors. So we had a pretty good idea that the bill was going to get out. There's been a tremendous amount of debate and discussion about it since the hearing a week ago. The policy hearing was a week ago. They took it up in work session today, and they did accept 2 amendments. Which was anticipated, and we figured that those were probably going to be coming forth. Senator Lee, who was the author, wanted to bring these forward because he felt that it would kind of give it a little extra something as it went through the Senate, and I believe that it does. One of the amendments is that the Board of Regents have to establish a policy whereby those that live in the residence halls and the dorms have to store their firearms, and which we kind of anticipated. I guess the benefit is that so few over the age of 21 live in residence halls and live on the dorms. Mm-hmm. However, we all know that concealed weapon permit holders are not the problem. So we understand that going forward. The other amendment is that if there is a venue on campus where over 1,000 people could be attending, that you can't bring your firearm to that particular event. For example, the Thomas Mack Center is on the grounds of the University of Nevada at Las Vegas, and they have a lot of big events there. However, if you're passing through the parking lot and going from point A to point B, you can carry your firearms. So those were 2 amendments that we anticipated. Those were actually pulled from some of the amendments that were offered in the Texas legislation. So those were not our amendments by any stretch of the imagination. Those were Senator Lee's, and I guess the benefit of that is that it did bring some members of the law enforcement community, the sheriffs that were opposing, which they still are. However, there were some sheriffs that feel that this could go a long way towards negating their opposition. They could end up, hopefully, at the end of this process in the Senate, going neutral. So we had a number of sheriffs that were very happy to see those amendments. And so we're kind of hoping that changes their position. But it's still going forward, and it could very well be heard on the Senate floor next week.
Wow. All right. Well, that is a big step. And with a situation like Campus Carry, this is so new legislatively. I mean, 5 years ago, we weren't having this conversation. We weren't talking about Campus Carry. So I know that there's not only there's the education that goes into this in informing these legislators, but, for them, while we may see this as an issue of, right to carry reform and not a big deal because you're talking about people who are already concealed carry holders who aren't problems. This is just another gun-free zone that comes down. I do understand that there are some legislators out there that see this as, this whole new, that see it as a whole new issue. And so I think it's going to take some time to educate these folks.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think one of the reasons why we're having this debate now is that we see an older generation of individuals attending college. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's economy based, if it's, people changing professions. I know that, my own daughter didn't step off of a campus until one of them was 24 and the other one was 25. And, they're going back for higher degrees now, whether it's law school, master's, doctorates. And even people that are in their 40s and 50s are going back to community colleges, and they're going back to get a second degree or an advanced degree. And so I think that this is just a natural progression as we see the actual student population becoming older, and all of a sudden they realize, what, I'm getting out of class at 10 o'clock, and under any other circumstances I would be able to protect myself in the parking lot. I can't do that any longer because there is this arbitrary line. So I think it's a natural progression. I think that people probably on a large scale, a lot of permit holders looked around and said, you know what, I'm older. I'm responsible. I should be able to have this with me wherever I go.
Yeah, yeah. So again, this could come up in the full Senate as early as next week.
That's correct. That's correct.
Wow. All right. Senate Bill 231. Nevada gun owners and NRA members need to be contacting their state senators right now.
We're hoping that they do. We believe that we have the votes to get it out. However, we're not going to assume anything. We're going to go after every last vote as if that vote counts. So we're just, like I said, we're not assuming anything, and we understand that likely the biggest battle is going to be in the opposite house in the assembly. So we're just going to take this one bite, one step at a time.
All right. Now, there's another piece of legislation we should ask you about, Carrie, because next week as well in the Assembly, Assembly Bill 282 is going to be heard in the Judiciary Committee. This is another big bill. It does a lot of things regarding right to carry, including keeping the names of right to carry holders out of the hands of the media.
Yes, and we've talked about this in the past. This is by Speaker John Osigura. He's the Assembly Speaker. He collected a number of issues that were currently percolating in other legislators' offices. He's kind of took some of the four big things that are being talked about in Nevada, put them all in one big pro-gun omnibus bill and put his name on it, and is bringing it forward. And to be honest with you, it's nice to have the discussion on all different fronts. And so he decided, you know what, let's just put this all in one bill and move it forward. And he has a lot of co-sponsors on this as well. And there's a lot to it. One is the qualifying permittee would qualify with any semi-automatic, just like they do with any revolver currently. It would protect the confidentiality of CCW permittees. It would mandate a background investigation on all permit renewals in order to regain the NICS exemption. And then the last thing is guns in state parks. So it's four big issues that we've been debating in other bills have all come together in this bill. So it's going to get a hearing next Wednesday. So it's nice to have them all in one tight, neatly wrapped package. So Speaker Osigura has done a good thing. So we're real happy to see it moving forward.
All right. Well, Carrie, thanks again for coming on the program tonight. Enjoy your weekend, and sounds like we'll be talking again next week.
The girls say hi, by the way.
Oh, well, say hello as well. All of the NRA News crew misses the Herbertson family, and I hope we get to see you guys soon.
Hopefully so. You have a good weekend.
You too, Carrie. Carrie Herbertson, NRA ILA's Nevada State Liaison.